I think currently, the question about what is hard, it's not necessarily so connected to my career or my music, because my music is me. I would like to be successful with my music, but it's about more than that. It's about figuring out what my purpose for being on this planet is.
You set the sun, I feel your waves. I look at the
We're in Rock Island, Illinois, which is where I grew up, where my family's been from for several generations. And it's right on the Mississippi River across from Iowa. I think community and family, that's a really important, part of being a Midwesterner. People really do seem to know their neighbors. There's no pretension, there's no being cool. You can't get away with that here. You have to be nice. You gotta be nice. I was always kind of singing when I was little, whether because, I was exposed to music or it just sort of was in me.
Lissie was the youngest of 4 children, so I think she grew up wanting to be heard. When she was little, I had her in dance lessons. She would have a recital and she would get up on the stage and something came out of her eyes. She just sparkled.
I remember, quite clearly going out with the group on stage and just that feeling of excitement before going on and kind of the buzz in the theater before a show and sticking my chin out, and just wanting to sing my heart out. My sister ANNIKA, who's the closest in age to me, we've become pretty much best friends as we've gotten older. We used to fight a lot.
She sang from an early age. If we got in a fight, she would slam her door and lock it, and then she'd make up songs about me on the other side of the door. I hate you, I'm not coming out. They weren't her best lyrics ever, but even when she was little, if she was having a hard time or someone made her mad, she would sing about it. I think that's how she's always worked through her feelings.
When I was 9, I was cast in Annie as Annie, which was an amazing experience here at CIRCA 21 Dinner Theater. And I was going to school and being this little professional was such a defining experience for me.
It was the second time for us to do Annie. We saw about 230 girls for the show. And there was no doubt whatsoever who would be playing Annie. She was confident, and there was a really sweet kid there, even though she had this confidence and brassy quality.
Without CIRCA 21, I don't know where I'd be now. It's important to have places to go and experience art and to participate. Hey, oh my gosh!
How are you?
Thanks for casting me in Annie all those years ago.
Thanks for doing it.
So
You're back
good
on the
to
stage.
be. I know. It's so nice to see you.
You look great on camera too.
Oh, thank you. I put a little bit of eye makeup on and some mascara.
Going to the first show, and here's my little girl standing up on that stage and belting out these songs. It was just amazing.
There were times, I think, growing up in this community where I felt different. I struggled a lot in high school with depression, and it just felt like I wasn't quite figuring out how to get the support that I needed. And I had this great teacher, Mr. Christianson, who, is an artist. He was my ceramics teacher. He just was here's here's some clay, make something beautiful. His attitude and energy really, I think, helped me a lot in high school, more than he would even realize.
I worked with Lissie in Ceramics 1 and Ceramics 2 after she graduated, and she had written to me actually a 2-page letter when she was frustrated with the direction that certain things were going. And I went to the house, but with me I took a vase that I had made for her. There were 12 pencils, and it said, "I'm going to be a rock star." And when she saw that in that vase, I just did everything.
Well, I have the pot on my counter that you made me.
See, I wasn't making that stuff up.
Well, he brought me a pot, but it also brought me this pencil that says Rockstar on it, and I still have it. I feel very fortunate in this life, because if I couldn't sell any records and no one cared about a word I had to say, that I have this huge kind of, network of family and friends and stuff who I know would be there for me if I needed them. But I wanted to get up and I wanted to sing and I wanted to travel and have this sort of bigger life than what I felt was available to me here. When I left Rock Island at 18, I was definitely I'm out of here.
State Farm celebrates great artists and the good neighbors back home who helped make them who they are today. For part 2 of Lissie's artist story, go to neighborhoodsessions.com.